Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you must make a decision. One that defines your self-worth, your dignity, and your future. And that decision is this: never, under any circumstance, forgive certain betrayals. You see, betrayal is not an accident. It is a choice, a conscious decision to deceive, to hurt, to break trust. And some wounds are not meant to heal, nor should they, because forgiveness is not always the answer. Sometimes walking away is. Tonight, I will reveal the 7 betrayals you should never forgive. Not because you are bitter, not because you seek revenge, but because your peace, your self-respect, and your very soul depend on it. Stay with me until the end, and you may just find the courage to walk away from the people who do not deserve your grace. Trust is a fragile thing. It takes years to build, seconds to break, and an eternity to repair, if it can be repaired at all. When someone chooses to lie to you, they are making a decision, a deliberate, conscious decision to deceive. A lie is not an accident. It is not a slip of the tongue or an unfortunate misstep. It is a betrayal, a crack in the very foundation of any meaningful relationship. And when that lie is repeated, when it becomes a habit rather than a mistake, it is no longer just a crack, it is a collapse. Some will tell you that lies can be forgiven, that everyone deserves a second chance. But ask yourself this: how many times has a liar truly changed? How many times has a person who lied to your face, swore they'd never do it again, actually stopped? Words are easy, words are cheap. A person who has made deception a part of their nature does not change because you forgave them. They change only when they have something to lose. A lie is not always spoken aloud. Sometimes it is in the silence. The things they choose not to tell you, the truths they twist, the details they leave out. You sense it in your gut. The way their story shifts slightly every time they repeat it. The way their eyes avoid yours for just a fraction of a second too long. You feel it, but you ignore it because you want to believe them. You want to trust. But trust is not about wanting. Trust is about knowing. And deep down, you know. A person who lies to you does not respect you. They may say they do. They may promise they love you, care for you, cherish you, but love without honesty is nothing more than a performance. A well-rehearsed act designed to keep you where they want you. Unsure, doubting yourself, questioning your own instincts. And that is where they win. Because the more you doubt your own perception, the easier it is for them to deceive you again. People don't lie for your benefit, they lie for themselves. They lie to avoid consequences, to keep control, to manipulate reality into something that serves them. And every time you forgive a lie, you give them permission to do it again. You teach them that your trust is not valuable, that it can be broken and restored at their convenience. So what do? Do you confront them? Do you demand the truth? And if they admit it, if they apologize, do you give them another chance? Here is the truth. They were never sorry for lying. They were only sorry they got caught. A person who is truly remorseful does not wait to be exposed. They confess. They come to you without being prompted, without being questioned, because the weight of their deception is too much to bear. But how often does that happen? How often does a liar step forward and admit to what they've done before you even suspect it? Rarely, because most are not sorry for the lie. They are only sorry for the consequences. Some betrayals leave scars. Some cannot be undone, and the betrayal of a repeated lie is one of them, because it is not just about the false words, it is about what those words steal from you, your sense of safety, your confidence in your own judgment, your ability to trust again. And then there is disrespect, Not the obvious kind, not the shouting or the cruel words thrown in a moment of anger. No, the most dangerous kind of disrespect is the quiet kind. The kind that creeps in unnoticed, that wears a smile, that comes disguised as a joke, a careless remark, an absent-minded shrug. You know the feeling. You've voiced your concerns, spoken your heart, shared your pain, and they dismiss it. They wave it away with a laugh, roll their eyes, tell you that you're overreacting. That is not just disrespect, that is erasure. It is the deliberate act of making you feel like your emotions, your experiences, your voice, none of it matters. It starts small, a comment here, a joke there. But disrespect is like rust. Left unchecked, it spreads. And one day, you realize you are no longer standing in a relationship built on mutual care and understanding. You are standing in a place where your feelings are optional, where your needs are secondary, where you have been conditioned to accept less and less until you forget that you ever deserved more. Respect is not a request. It is not something you beg for, something you have to prove yourself worthy of. It is the bare minimum, the absolute foundation of any relationship, be it romantic, familial, or friendship. Without respect, love is meaningless. Words of affection are hollow, promises are empty, and every moment of connection is tainted with the knowledge that at any time your feelings can be disregarded without a second thought. There will always be those who test your boundaries, who see how much they can get away with before you push back. And if you don't, they will keep taking inch by inch until you have nothing left. Because a person who truly respects you does not need to be reminded. They do not need to be taught how to value you. They already do. The worst mistake you can make is explaining to someone how they should treat you. Because if they don't already know, if they cannot see your worth without you spelling it out for them, they will never truly value you, not in the way you deserve. And so you have a choice. Do you stay, hoping that one day they will wake up and realize your value? Do you keep forgiving, keep explaining, keep accepting less in the hopes that one day they will finally see? Or do you walk away, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with the quiet certainty that you deserve better, that you deserve honesty, that you deserve respect, that you will never again waste your time on those who cannot see your worth? Because at the end of the day, the most powerful decision you will ever make is to stop allowing people to treat you as if you are less than what you are. And once you make that choice, once you stand firm in it, something remarkable happens. The right people stay, the wrong ones leave. And for the first time in a long time, you are free. There is something profoundly dangerous about believing that your peace is less important than someone else's guilt. That your well-being must be sacrificed so another person can be absolved of their wrongdoing. It is a trap. A silent, creeping trap that convinces you that forgiveness is the only way forward, that carrying the burden of someone else's mistakes is an act of virtue. But it is not. It is self-betrayal. Father. People will ask for forgiveness not because they regret what they have done, but because they cannot stand the weight of their own guilt. They want relief, not redemption. They want to be freed of the consequences, to have the slate wiped clean so they can move forward without carrying the burden of what they did. But where does that burden go? It does not disappear, it transfers from them to you. They walk away lighter, unshackled, redeemed in their own eyes, while you are left with the remnants of their betrayal lodged deep in your soul. There is something deeply unfair about that, about the way people expect you to be the bigger person, to rise above, to extend grace to those who never truly earned it. But being the bigger person does not mean being the weaker one. It does not mean allowing someone to rewrite the past simply because they have decided they do not want to live with it anymore. Your peace matters. More than their guilt, more than their apologies. more than their sudden realization that they have done wrong. And if choosing peace means choosing not to forgive, then so be it. Because not everyone deserves to be forgiven. Not everyone has earned the right to be welcomed back into your life as if their betrayal never happened. There is a cost to allowing the wrong people to stay, a cost to continually giving chances to those who have proven they do not deserve them. And that cost is your own self-respect. Because every time you let someone back in who has already shown you their capacity to hurt you, you teach yourself that your pain does not matter, that your feelings are negotiable, that your heart is not worth protecting. You have a duty to yourself, a duty to honor your own emotions, your own boundaries, your own sense of self-worth. And sometimes that means closing the door on people who cannot be trusted to treat you with the care you deserve. Sometimes that means saying, no, you do not get to be a part of my life anymore. You do not get to ease your conscience at the expense of my peace. There is a myth that good people always forgive, that those with kind hearts always offer second chances. But the truth is, the strongest people, the wisest people, the ones who truly value themselves, know when to walk away. They know that some betrayals cannot be undone, some wounds cannot be healed, and some relationships are not worth saving. You are not required to carry someone else's shame. You are not responsible for making them feel better about what they did. Your only responsibility is to yourself, to your own healing, to your own sense of peace. And if forgiveness threatens that peace, if it forces you to pretend that something unforgivable never happened, then it is not the right choice. There is a harsh truth about betrayal, one that is difficult to accept. It is that it says nothing about you and everything about them. It is not a reflection of your worth, your kindness, or your ability to love. It is a mirror held up to their character, their flaws, their inability to be truthful, loyal, or decent. And yet, so many people take betrayal personally, as if it is a sign that they were not enough, not good enough, not worthy enough to be treated with honesty and respect. But that is a lie. Betrayal is not proof of your inadequacy. It is proof of their weakness. It is proof that they lacked the integrity, the courage, the strength to do what was right. It is not about you. It never was. The moment you realize this, truly internalize it, something shifts. The pain, though still present, loses its grip. The endless questioning, was it my fault? Was I not enough? Could I have done something differently? Falls away. And in its place comes a quiet certainty, an unshakable truth. You were not betrayed because of who you are. You were betrayed because of who they are. Some people will lie to your face and expect you to believe it. They will look you in the eyes, swear to you that they are telling the truth, and then go on living their deception as if your trust is nothing more than a toy to be played with. And when they are caught, they will not feel remorse. They will feel regret. Regret that they could not continue their game. Regret that they did not cover their tracks better. Regret that they have to now face the consequences of their actions. But you are not here to clean up their mess. You are not here to ease their regret, to give them a free pass back into your life simply because they suddenly feel bad. They made their choices, let them live with them. You are not responsible for the character flaws of others. You are not required to fix, to heal, to offer endless understanding to those who refuse to take accountability for what they have done. And you most certainly are not required to forgive simply because they ask for it. They will say it was a mistake, that they did not mean to, that they were confused, lost, going through something. And yet, when given the chance, they did not choose honesty, they did not choose loyalty, they did not choose you. That is all you need to know. That is all the closure you will ever need, because at the end of it all, there is one undeniable truth. People do not betray those they truly value, and if they can do it once, they can do it again. So do not waste your time trying to understand why they did it. Do not waste your energy searching for the missing piece that will make it all make sense. It will never make sense, because the problem was never with you. The problem was them, their choices, their flaws, their inability to be the person they pretended to be. And once you accept that, truly accept it, you are free. Free from the burden of their betrayal, free from the guilt of not forgiving, free to walk away with your dignity intact, knowing that you are worth more than the lies, the manipulation, the betrayal they tried to make you accept. There is no shame in refusing to forgive. There is no weakness in choosing yourself over someone who would have destroyed you if you had let them. There is only strength. There is only power. There is only the quiet, unshakable truth that you deserve better. And once you know that, once you truly believe it, nothing and no one will ever have the power to betray you again. There is a dangerous mistake people make when they believe that kindness must always be met with kindness. That if they continue to give, to forgive, to extend grace, eventually it will be recognized, appreciated, and returned. But that is not how the world works. That is not how people work. Some see kindness as weakness. Some see forgiveness as permission. Some see second chances as an invitation to betray again. And they will. It is a harsh truth to accept, but necessary. Not everyone who hurts you is sorry. Not everyone who apologizes means it. And not everyone who promises to change has any intention of doing so. There are those who test boundaries, not because they want to be better, but because they want to see how much they can get away with. The more you excuse, the more you tolerate, the more you lower your standards, the more they take. Not by accident, not out of ignorance, but because they know they can. Manipulation does not always come in grand gestures or obvious schemes. Sometimes it comes in the form of quiet persuasion, of guilt, of subtle shifts that make you question your own judgment. They will tell you that you are overreacting, that you are too sensitive, that you are imagining things. And with enough repetition, you start to believe them. That is how control works. It does not demand power. It convinces you to give it away. They will make you believe that their actions were not meant to hurt you, that their betrayal was not intentional, that if you could just understand them, then everything would be all right. But what they truly want is not understanding, it is submission. They want you to silence your instincts, to ignore the voice inside you that knows something is wrong, to dismiss your own reality so that theirs can continue uninterrupted. And once you do, once they see that you are willing to doubt yourself for their benefit, they have you exactly where they want you. Some people do not take advantage of others because they are cruel. They do it because they can. Because they have learned that if they cry just the right way, if they apologize with just the right words, if they make you feel guilty enough for walking away, you will stay. And once you stay, once you prove to them that their actions have no real consequences, they will do it again. There is no nobility in allowing yourself to be used. There is no strength in making excuses for someone who refuses to change. If a person disrespects you once and you forgive them, they will learn that they can disrespect you again. If they betray you once and you let them back in, they will learn that betrayal is not something you truly fear. And if they hurt you again and again, and you keep believing that one day they will stop, they will learn that you are willing to suffer for the illusion of love. But there is something more powerful than forgiveness, more liberating than understanding, and that is knowing when to walk away. Walking away is not weakness, it is not bitterness, it is not cruelty, it is survival. People will tell you that love means staying through the hard times, that relationships require work, that loyalty is about forgiveness. But that is only true when the other person values you as much as you value them. Love is not pain. Love is not sacrifice. Love is not something you must prove by enduring endless suffering. Love is mutual, or it is nothing at all. And if someone can abandon you in your darkest moments, if they can turn their back on you when you need them most, if they can leave without hesitation while you are drowning, then they do not love you. Not truly. Because love does not disappear when it is inconvenient. Love does not fade when times are hard. Love does not walk away and return only when it is easy again. You have seen it before. The friend who is there when times are good, but nowhere to be found when life becomes difficult. The partner who claims to love you but cannot handle your pain. The family member who only reaches out when they need something. These people do not love you. They love what you can offer. They love the comfort of your presence, the security of knowing you are always there, the convenience of your support. But when you are the one in need, when you are the one struggling, when you are the one looking for the same loyalty you have given so freely, they vanish. A person who can leave you in your worst moments is not someone who deserves to be there in your best. If someone can disappear when you are at your lowest, if they can look away while you are suffering, if they can make excuses for their absence while you are fighting battles alone, then they have already made their choice, and it is time for you to make yours. There is no greater test of a relationship than hardship. Anyone can stay when life is easy. Anyone can love when things are going well. But when the storms come, when the walls start to collapse, when the darkness settles in, that is when you see the truth of a person. And if their truth is to run, to abandon, to leave you alone in your struggle, then they are not yours to hold on to. Some relationships are not meant to last forever. Some people are meant to be lessons, not lifelong companions. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you recognize that not everyone who walks into your life is meant to stay, the freer you become. You do not need to beg someone to be there for you. You do not need to prove that you are worth staying for. The right people will not leave. The right people will not make excuses. The right people will not abandon you when you need them the most. Walking away is not about anger. It is not about proving a point. It is about self-respect. It is about understanding that you cannot force someone to care, that you cannot convince someone to be the person you need them to be, that you cannot make someone love you the way you deserve to be loved. So when someone shows you that they are not willing to stand by you, when they reveal that their loyalty only exists in comfort, when their love is conditional on convenience, believe them and walk away. Not because you do not love them, not because you do not care, but because you love yourself enough to stop waiting for someone who has already left. Life is too short to waste on those who betray you. Forgiveness is not a duty, it is a privilege. A privilege reserved for those who are truly sorry, those who have earned another chance. But for those who continue to lie, disrespect, manipulate and abandon you, never forgive, never forget, and most importantly, never look back. This is your life. Protect it.